I'm DJ Pup Dawg, born Kareem Karmali. I'm a music director in Boston, jamming 94.5. I'm a mixer on the station. I do the morning show, do the back in the day buffet. I do the 5 o'clock traffic jam. Do a lot of production stuff for the morning show. I've been part of the morning show team since I moved here, actually, about what, 7 years now, 6.5, 7 years now. And basically just trying to run the station. You know, the music director is the top of the chain of my goals that I wanted to be at, and I'm at that right now. So, and that's just in Boston. DJing actually was, you know, back in the day when like house parties and just getting 2 tape decks and pressing play on each deck and emceeing it in between every song, you know, talking up a record, because at that time I didn't know how to mix or anything like that. And just love the fact that controlling a crowd or being part of the energy that was happening. And I just took that to DJing, which came around with turntables and, you know, watching some of my friends back in junior high rock a party, and I was like, man, this is what I want to do. So I started getting into it around high school time. I started slipping in my grades, and you know, parents sold off everything and said I could start back up when I get into college, and I picked it back up when I got into college. I was a finance major first, and then I went to communications major, and then I used to hustle my way into clubs, because I was actually known as an Indian DJ. I would do a lot of Indian parties, a lot of Indian college parties, and I wanted to get out of that scene. So I started going by myself with crates of records to the clubs, and walking up to the front door and just being like, oh, the owner called me or the promoter called me, just kind of figure out who's who at the door. And by the time I was rocking the crowd, by the time they realized anything, you know, I was already rocking the crowd, so they would let me get on and let me stay on, and then I kind of worked my way in that way. But you know, just being there at the right time, at the right place. I had a radio guy at one of the clubs I gangstered my way into, and Eric Kubici, he's in the Beat in LA, and he hooked me up from there. I got an internship in radio, and just learned everything I need to learn and just moved my way up. Internship, especially when you're in college, it's the only way to get into any kind of business. Anything you want to do, it's a great way to start off. You get your feet wet a little bit, you figure out what part of that business you want to get into, because every business has different departments. You're going to get that from radio to anything you do. There's going to be a marketing department, there's going to be a sales department. Anything business oriented, you're definitely going to have like 5 different departments. So in college, that's when you figure out what you want to do. If I wanted to be a mixer or on air, then I would get into the programming side, but I got into the promotion side. I was the same way what you just said, which is, you know, just any way you can get in and then work your way up. So I got into the promotion side. I did some street team work, and you know, started dabbling into the production side. Started dabbling with programming, which was, you know, scheduling music and learning the music director side of it. And internships like the best way to get into any station, because yeah, it is free work, but it's not free work. You're learning. That's your payment. You're gonna figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life through that internship. And I mean, when I was in LA, I was doing the morning show out there with Steve Harvey, Sinbad, and all those guys. And I had a part-time job. No, I had a full-time job at a bank, and I was working part-time radio. And that was my safety net. I had my family there, and I had a full-time job. I was a loan officer at a bank. So the banks aren't going to go anywhere. You could always get a 9 to 5. Not you can always get a 9 to 5, but a 9 to 5 is going to be it's going to be more convenient to get than going after your dreams. So at 21, 22, I decided, you know what? The only way that's going to make this happen is if I completely leave everything behind, don't have any kind of safety net, make my move somewhere where I know that I'm going to make it work. And I started shooting my air checks around. I got called by Boston and Houston, and thank God, you know, my program director right now, Tyler, he picked up the phone call. And when I came out here just to visit, I heard reggae on the radio, and I was like, you know what, this is where I want to be at. Reggae is one of my favorite music, and I was like, this is where I want to come to. And I just worked my way up. And when I got here, there was a hire freeze. So for 6 months, I was playing CDs on the Orange Line. I took that New York mentality, even though I was from LA. And I was like, you know what, I can't go back to LA because I'm going to make this work. Started getting my name a little, you know, started building my name a little bit, got into the club scene. And actually, when I moved out here for the radio gig, I didn't have a radio gig. I actually got a club gig before I got the radio gig. And then when something opened up, I got a chance to be with the morning show, which was doing production work. And I had no idea how to do production. I just said, yeah, I know how to do it. I got in and was calling my boy back in LA, because the morning show out here starts at 6. You're looking at 3 o'clock back in the West Coast. And one of the guys that I had helped get on air, he did production. So when I helped him get on, it was basically his payback was me on the speakerphone over here, Ramiro and Pebbles across the glass window. They can see me, but they couldn't see what I was doing. I had him on speakerphone, and he was walking me through how to get everything done. So I just worked my way up that way. And yeah, you know, it sucks to come in as a live, but they all know it now, so they're cool, and they like my hustle, how I got in, and just moved my way up from there. Well, right now, I mean, if you guys are on Twitter, if you guys even just kind of just hang out with me over here, you guys know that I've been in radio 15 years, and my hustle right now is just as strong as it was when I was trying to get in, because radio has completely changed. You've got to know ins and outs of everything. You got to be relevant with anything that you do. You got to keep your name alive, because it's a business at the end of the day. Radio is a business, and you know, I think I'm working even harder than when I was back in the day. Just trying to keep my name alive and get it to that next level, which is, you know, just national level now, you know. So in that way, yeah, 22-hour days every day is pretty normal over here. Well, 1995, I would say if you love DJing, be the best at it. 2010, you love DJing, you better learn everything around it. Meaning, I mean, you see how you guys are walking around the studios right now. Radio is very scarce right now. They've got people doing 10 different jobs at the same time. Learn everything that you possibly can and be the best at all of it. A lot of times, you know, there's a lot of talent out there. I know hundreds of DJs out there that are way better than me, but the way my work ethic compared to some people's work ethic, and this is my opinion, is, you know, I see a lot of talented DJs, and I'm like, you can be at such a different level, but sometimes laziness kicks in, sometimes ego kicks in, sometimes being mad at me because how high I am is slowing you down. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it. I've seen it from people, and so if you're from somewhere and you're just trying to start up, learn everything, forget all that hate stuff. Don't be mad at somebody else. Be mad at yourself for not being at the level that someone else is at, and get to that level or even surpass that person. Just learn everything about it. Read whatever you need to read. Practice. You know, you got the time. If you're young, you got the time. You don't have the financial responsibilities behind you. Just go after it. Go completely head first into it. You know, everything all in. And that's the best advice I can give. Just go full on in, because once you get older, you start picking up some financial responsibilities. You start realizing, okay, I got to be a man now, or I got to be a woman now. You know, you gotta fall back. You gotta realize, okay, I tried and it didn't work. Whereas some people, you didn't really try, and you're complaining about it not happening. I know if I don't go through with this now, and I start a family up, and I go back to my 9 to 5, I gave it my all, and it didn't work for me. But I didn't have that mentality up until this point, and I'm not stopping anytime soon.
My heart is devoted, focused, I'm starving opponents. Get worn autistic is as vicious as sharks in the ocean. I'm a monster and poet, notice I'm clever when talking, and when I'm thinking, so I'm cautious wherever I'm walking. Flossing is asking for conflicts, yeah, I chat with my conscience and wonder why all these actors is rapping this nonsense. We adapt to the contents of the drugs and the liquor. I'm a MC, drug dealer, thug in a mixture. I paint dozens of pictures. Call me the rapper Tommy. Why is he acting hard? He wants him a casket, probably. Conquered and blast a shotty. I stay disciplined like I'm studying mad karate. Don't make me catch a body.